let's be accountability partners. We're going to check our goats' hooves once a month. And so you can follow along with me as I do mine, and then you can go out and do yours. Does that sound good? Let's do it. Okay, so today is a big day for the goats because it's on my calendar to trim some hooves. It is a glorious, I think it's in the high 40s today. We still have snow on the ground, but it's getting to be kind of soft snow, and it's just a beautiful day to be out, honestly, after the cold that we've had. And so I had it on the calendar actually last week to do their hooves, but today I changed it to today, knowing that it would be warmer today. So I am out here and I am going to trim their hooves. And so I just wanted to talk through today really how I manage my goats and get everything done that needs to be done. Because really, when you own goats, there is a lot. If you vaccinate them, you need to get that on this calendar. You need to be having on the calendar like when you're going to check their fecal matter for worms, and do a fecal egg count. And you need to be putting it on the calendar when you're going to trim their hooves and all kinds of things, when you're going to give boluses. And so I'm going to walk through today the calendar that I use and how I go about that. And so we've got all these goats to trim their hooves. Let's go. Ladies, it is time. It is time to do your feet first. Looks like Faith and Olivia are at the door here, so all right, ladies, who's gonna go in first? Here we go. You're not gonna like this, You're not gonna like this. Yes, Faith. Here we go, starting on the first goat. And the one thing I have to say about my setup here with my milking stand, this head catch was already here when I bought the place, and this whole barn was not in use. It was filled to the brim with just stuff, and so we cleared it out, found this, and I built this base here, which has worked great. The only thing that it is hard to do with this is get the other side of their, on their left side. It's hard to trim the hooves on that side, and so I hope to someday have another catch somewhere else out here where I can really do their feet. It would basically just be for their feet, because this is a hard setup for that. So just keep that in mind as you are putting together your property and your setup. And maybe, who knows, maybe someday I will completely move it to the center or something like that. That might be an option as well. So keep that in mind, because trimming is really important and you need to make it as easy as possible for them and for you. It's hard work. I know, Faith. First foot done. Now remember, if you haven't done your hooves in a while, they may be a little kind of out of control. You can come back to it. If you feel like you get the biggest, worst parts off, then come back in a week, or come back, put it on your calendar for a month later, so that you can just work on it a bit more. Don't break yourself and don't make your goats mad and have an awful experience about this. So remember, you don't have to get it all done in one setting. Also, please be sure to check out on my channel. I have two videos. One is how to trim goat hooves. So this is not a tutorial on how to trim goat hooves. I already have that on my channel. So I have one that's called how to trim goat hooves, and the other one is how to trim overgrown hooves. So be sure to stop, finish this video and then go ahead and check out those two videos after this one. You goofy goat. This is a trick that I share in my how to trim goat hooves video, so be sure to check that. It really helps keep the goat steady and like they're not being killed. Trimming their hooves. Done, go girl. Done, babe. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Okay, that's good. Alright. How does that feel? Is that better? Yeah. I know. So the 3 milking goats are done, and really they're probably the easiest because I can put grain in there. And I actually don't grain my other goats. I'll leave their milk at this point with where everyone's at and just their stages of pregnancy and just their situation. I am only graining then my milking goats, so that's the 3 that I just did. And so now, and usually I have, like this year I plan to have 4, well actually 5 in milk. Kira, my oldest doe, didn't catch last year, and then my youngest, who was a first freshener, she ended up drying up faster than I expected. I usually have more goats in milk than I do now, and this next year I should have 4 and possibly 5. We'll see if Kira catches this next year. So that is something though to be aware of. If you're not feeding your goats grain, you don't want to suddenly on hoof trimming day feed them and overload them with grain. Their bodies won't be used to that, and you could end up with a sick goat. So just keep that in mind as you are planning this and doing this, is just how to handle that. So I am actually I'm going to bring them in here and put them in the head catch. I might give them just a little bit, but they'll just have to suffer through the rest of the feet as I get it done, but I'll get it done as quickly as possible. And that is the best thing about doing this on a regular basis. If you do this regularly, it won't take long. It won't be this big, arduous task of trying to get it corrected and figured out and them fighting you and your hands getting tired and all of that. So do it regularly. Now you'll notice probably, at least with my goats, my does that I'm giving grain, their hooves do grow faster than the other ones. And so I do need to keep up on them a bit more regularly, or more often, but I check all the other ones as well, might as well. And so that is how I handle that. Kira is my only Nubian, and she's my oldest doe, and she's the one that didn't catch last year, but we'll see if she's bred when spring rolls around. So she is not in milk and hasn't been in milk this last year. Biggest goat, aren't ya? This is my biggest one. Yes, so let me get her done quick, okay? Okay, my arms are getting tired. Right, Kira. And this is Giraffe. She is our littlest goat and our well, not our youngest, I guess, but she is actually Faith's baby from a couple years ago.
Got her Faith's goat. Okay, I better put my knife away.
Good idea.
That was good. Trimming.
What were you trimming?
A piece of wood. Yeah, you are.
Maybe step up onto this one. Now we have Zoe. She is my only fainting goat. She's never been bred, so she's never had kids, and she's just honestly kind of just a goat we have, a pet goat. But she is fairly nice. although she doesn't come up to me like the other ones. But anyways, here we go with her. So she's not on the stand ever as far as getting milked, getting grain. This is always a new experience for her. Sometimes outside, not inside though.
Is it a video?
The only goat left to do is shadow my buck. I'm not looking forward to that. Anyone want to volunteer? Any volunteers? Do you guys volunteer? Do you guys want to do shadow?
No,
Cut his toes?
I'm working on a stick.
Why do you have a stick?
I'm making it sharp at the end.
You be nice. So, here we go. Just got to get Shadow in here.
Jessica.
Okay, Shadow's here. Let's go.
Okay. Hey guys, I can go out.
Yeah, you can. I know. Now we'll see if he makes me stink for the rest of my life. But it's done.
All right, so I wanted to show you what I use to track my whole entire life, including my goats' lives. These planners are awesome. They are Clever Fox planners, and they have really outdone themselves in putting together a planner that helps in every area of your life. I love it. And so I will leave a link below so that you can easily find it just to know exactly which one I use. But as you can see, I have it filled up. Now all of this entails my business. It has my personal life. It has my goals. And that's what I love about it. You know, it has a place in here for your just thinking ahead on your self-awareness. It has your vision board. It has thinking even ahead into the future, 5, 10, 20 years. That's kind of weird to think about, isn't it? And your 1-year goals, and then it has your 3-month goals. And then each month has its own, page to kind of plan out and map out your month. And then the back here, it shows each week you have a page where you can break down your steps, break down what you're working on each day, and plan out, map out what your each week, each day looks like. And I just love that. So I just wanted to show you that what I've done then, I know that I want to trim my goat hooves each month. And so I actually have gone through, so this whole thing is filled out for each month, and I actually did go in here. I wrote trim hooves. Now, the week that I had planned to do, I actually then moved it, because that's the thing. You got to be flexible. But the one Monday that I was going to do it, it was insanely cold. And so I just bumped it to the next Monday. And so I have it written in here every month what day I plan to do it. And so I know that, okay, this is what I'm planning to do. I also have when I'm going to be giving my copper boluses to my goats. And I actually don't have it written in here, but I know that every Monday I'm going to be checking my goats' minerals as well, and their eye color. And so I think it's really important that if you decide what works for you and when you need to do it, and then you get it written down in your calendar. Otherwise, you probably won't do it. And then, of course, once it's written down in the calendar, you need to be looking at it very regularly, so you remember, oh yeah, I wrote that down. Let's get this done today. So I just wanted to encourage you to really plan it out, map it out, when you're going to be doing things with your goats. All right, now if you have my goat binder, then what you will do is each goat will have their own page with their information here. And so these are where you will print out for each goat, or in the binder it'll have the pages that you'll get in there. And so you can see here that I wrote down for Olivia and for all of them, but for just as Olivia's page, the copper boluses that I gave last month. And actually, I did not write down the day that I trimmed their hooves last month, and I need to do that. But thankfully, I know which day I did that, which I'm going to consult because at the moment I can't remember what it is. I know that I trimmed them, so I'm going to write down in here in January. I'm going to write down, so 120. There you go. And I got that done. So then as I did it this month, I need to write down that date. And at a glance, you will be able to see very clearly what you've done in a year with your goats. It's just so easy, and it's so wonderful to be able to keep it all tracked and in one binder, so you don't have to be guessing at the end of the year or at any given moment. You don't need to ever be guessing what you've done with your goat, because in those moments of stress when you need to know something, it really helps just to have it in here. So I really encourage you, if you haven't, and I know I mention this in every video, but I really believe that this is an essential item for every goat owner to have, whether you have goats that are for pets or if you have goats as a business or are trying to grow your goat herd in that way. This binder will help you immensely. And so that is why I mention it in every video, because I know that this may be your first video that you've ever watched of me, and I don't want you to miss an opportunity to get it because of the feedback that I am getting about it. People are being helped so much, and that excites me so much because we want to not just raise goats, we want to raise healthy goats, and I really believe that this can help you with that. So get your goat binder and get something, whether it's a Clever Fox planner or some other system that will help you. It really is important so that you cannot forget those really key things that you need to be doing with your goats.
I forgot to end this video. You can't end a video without saying goodbye. So I hope that you take me up on this challenge, this accountability to regularly trim your goat hooves. It's really important for the health of your goat and just even the well-being and the friendliness of your goat. You know, handling them a lot is what will get them used to you. Will let them, if you have a wild goat, it will help them realize that you're not trying to kill them. And so I just hope that this is encouraging you to get on up and get out there and regularly take care of your goats' hooves. You really won't regret it. Your goats' health will be better for it. Their foot health will be better for it. And we can all do it together and answer questions along the way, encourage each other, and just get this job done. And the more you do it, the more often you do it, the more regularly you do it, the less likely you're going to run into problems that are hard to deal with, and it'll just be a quick job. So I just hope you have a great day. I just think it is so cool that we can connect over a screen. You know, the reality is that most likely we probably will never meet face to face in this lifetime, and yet we can connect through this screen, and I think that's really cool. We can encourage each other and be crazy goat people together. And so anyways, I just hope that you have a really good day and enjoy those goats. Right, babe? Enjoy those goats. Yes. You gotta scratch. You gotta scratch. Scratch. Oh, you want one up there now too? Oh, yes. Can you say hello? Say hello. That felt good. All right, let's get even here so I can milk her, okay?